Hey guys, welcome back. So for today's boutique lesson, we are going to take a look at a list of Destash groups that you can join and try to sell some of the products that you're struggling to move. So before we take a look at the list, let's actually define what a Destash group is for those of you who are newer to the boutique world. So let's say that you have a style that you've purchased at wholesale that you're selling to your customers, but your customers just aren't interested in it and you've been stuck with it for a while. You're ready to get rid of it and bring in more styles. What can you do? Are you stuck with it forever? Do you just need to write it off? Do you need to donate it? No. What you can do is actually join a Destash group, post the product to the Destash group's Facebook page, and see if any of your fellow boutique owners are interested in the style. Maybe it's exactly what their customers are looking for. Now in this scenario, what you do is you are in these groups with all of your fellow boutique owners and you sell it to them at cost. So you sell it to them for the price that you paid at wholesale. So in this case, you're not losing any money because you're selling it at the cost you bought it for, but you're also not losing out on potential sales. So another scenario where this can be helpful is, let's say that you've sold out of one of your styles in every single size except for size small. Maybe your customers prefer to shop with size medium and large, extra large, but they don't really have a preference for size small or extra small. What you can do is post it in these Facebook groups and see if any of your fellow boutique owners would be interested in purchasing the size small. Even if it's a single pack or if there's maybe 3 left, you can sell it to them, and maybe their customer base prefers or is primarily size small or extra small, so they'll grab it quickly because they struggle to sell size medium and large. Or vice versa, maybe you struggle to sell size large and your size smalls always sell out. Either way, someone across the country probably has the opposite problem you do. So what you can do is post in these Facebook groups, see if any of your fellow boutique owners would be willing to purchase the product from you at wholesale cost, and that way you're not missing out on any money from the sale. You're not necessarily making money, but you're also not going to be losing money. So that's why Destash groups can be so helpful. So with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at the list of Destash groups that I would recommend you guys to join in order to start to try to offload some of your excessive inventory. Okay, so the first Facebook group is Destash Wholesale Buy-in Boutiques. And as you can see, it is a private group, just like all of the Facebook groups on this list. But what we can tell is that there are 8.8K members. So that tells us that it is a fairly popular group, which is a good sign. When we scroll down, we can read more information about this group. We can see on here that it is USA only. Looks like they do offer their own wholesale. So what you want to do when you join these groups is make sure you read through all of the rules. And if you come to the bottom, you can see there are group rules from the admin. So you want to make sure you read through all of these rules and make sure that you apply. So for example, if you were trying to sell one of these types of products, you wouldn't be allowed to sell in this particular Facebook group. So some of these groups have more strict rules than others, but that can actually be a good thing because it means that 1, the group is active, but 2, they aren't going to put up with a lot of nonsense from people who are just trying to spam or scam the groups. The next Facebook group is called Boutique Owners Destash and Discussion. With this Facebook group, we can see that there are 29.7K members, so it's even bigger than the previous. Once again, you always want to come down and make sure you read through the information, the description, and then read through the group rules from the admins. So in this one, no PMs, don't private message people. We can also check out how many posts they get per day and how many total members they get per week, as well as how long ago it was created. So when you see something like this, 44 new posts just today, that means that this is an active group. And you know, if you're joining it, it's not going to be an old group that people once used but stopped utilizing. This is going to be an active, popular group. Next up, we have boutique, wholesale, and Destash. So with this group, we see 11.3K members. We see clothing and accessory, Destash. If we scroll down, we see 214 new posts per today. It was created a year ago. And then once again, they do have their own set of rules. Charging taxes. If you do not want to pay taxes, you are required to provide a tax ID, which is a good thing because sometimes with these types of groups, you find that consumers, like the people shopping your website, find their way to join these types of groups just to purchase cheap products at wholesale price without actually being a real store, which of course is illegal because you have to pay taxes from a store in order to purchase, which you won't be doing at wholesale. So when you join these groups, it's definitely a better sign if they are asking you for your tax ID information and proof that you are in fact a business owner. So the next Facebook group is called Boutique Owners Destash PayPal Only. So what this tells us is that if you're not willing to pay with PayPal, you probably don't want to join this group. But we can see that there are 11.4K members, so it is a popular group. And if we scroll to the bottom, we see 22 new posts today and 10,000 total members created 7 years ago. No new members in the last week. So this group maybe isn't quite as active as some of the other groups, but that's not necessarily a bad thing, because if you're in a group where, you know, several people are posting every single day, lots of photos, lots of products, if you're posting in it as well, less people are likely to see it because there are so many other people posting. So it could be beneficial to be in a group that has a lot of members but isn't quite as active. With all of these groups, you kind of have to basically post in all of them and see if you get any takers, because sometimes when you post your products in one group, no one will respond, but then you post it again in a different group and all of a sudden you have several takers. So you just kind of have to figure out which ones make sense for you, and you can always post in multiple at a time to give you better results. Now the next group is one that I believe you have to pay to join. And if we scroll down, we see subscribe sellers only. You all may use this group to run items / pre-orders, chat, help each other out, and keep up to date on changes in OG. So what this means is that some of these Facebook groups, you do have to pay a small fee to be able to join them every month. And what I've heard is that those groups can actually be the ones where you get the most people actually purchasing from you, because if your intent is to be in there and pay the fee, you're actually going to be looking to purchase from others and sell your products. So it can be beneficial to try out some of these paid groups. Now the next group is called Destash Divas. And this group actually has 93K members. So very, very active group. If we scroll down, we see 153 new posts today. And then my last tip is to actually go use the search bar and search for Destash, because you're going to find so many groups that you can join. And like I said, I recommend joining a couple and posting your products in each of them, because like I said, sometimes you're going to get crickets on some of your posts, while other times you're going to get a lot of takers.
So my biggest tip is to join several groups and post in all of them. And that way you will increase your odds of actually having people purchase your Destash items.
And that's a wrap. I hope you guys enjoyed this week's video. Ooh, make sure you comment down below the name of your favorite Destash group. That way more boutique owners can join and potentially purchase from you when you're trying to get rid of your inventory. So with that, make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. And with that, I'll see you guys next time.